talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I know you're not feeling irie, but this is a different type of message. There's all the other creators talking about that other thing that's going on, but this specific topic is a revision of something that we spoke about before. Now, this will affect carriers, it will affect clerks, it will affect mail handlers, and it will affect truck drivers in the near future. What are we talking about? Let's talk about it, baby. But first, I had a question. So, if I got married and then I gave my wife my kidney just so that she could live, and then 4 years later, she decides to divorce me, okay? Or we get divorced. She decides to divorce me. Am I allowed to sue her for the $1.5 million or get my kidney back? Is that a thing? You tell me. It's a weird question. But in actuality, that happened not to me. She filed for divorce, and the guy filed for $1.5 million. And yeah, look it up. And I hope he got his money or that kidney back. Yep, marry me and take my kidney. What kind of mess is that? Women like, get that kidney. No. Listen, I gotta break the monotony. Too much going on. We spoke about not too long ago that truck drivers rule the world. It is kind of what we do. Yeah, but everything evolves around transportation. You all carriers transport your mail from point A to point B. The truck drivers transport the mail from B to C, and then so on and so forth. Everybody in between, it's just a big moving cycle. Now, I spoke about it and stated that they were going to be taking evening collections away from the stations. For those that work at the plants, you may not know what evening collections are, or you don't have an idea, but evening collections are when the carriers get back after they do all their pickups from all the people that they pick the mail up from, all the businesses, etc. And they bring it back to the station. And then the truck drivers will go there and pick that mail up, bring it back to the processing center or whatever, the plant, and then it starts to move through the mail handlers, through the clerks, and then goes out on other trucks or planes or whatever. It's a cycle. That's how this whole thing works. It's a big clock, and everything has to work together. Well, the new initiative called Regional Transportation Optimization, RTO, we spoke about this. I don't know how long you guys have been following me. The mail at any post office more than 50 miles away from the country's 59 regional processing and distribution centers will no longer be collected at the end of the day. It will instead be collected the next morning when the mail is dropped off at the post office for carrier delivery. In most cases, that will add a day to the current service standards. More than 24,300 of the country's 33,700 post offices will be subject to the RTO initiative. That's 24,000 out of 33,000. That's like 4/5. Almost half the country's population live in areas that will be impacted. Most of those areas are rural, as discussed, blah, blah, blah. Now, how does that directly affect the post office? So this affects obviously the carriers, because carriers are pushed to come back at earlier times. They got to meet the truck. They got to catch the truck. They get hit with unrealistic expectations a lot of the times, and they're in a rush mode. Right. So on the back end or the front end, it's going to be impacted. But here goes. It says regional transportation optimization is aimed at improving the efficiency and cost effectiveness of mail transportation. This involves changes on how mail is moved between post offices and processing facilities. So a lot of people don't realize that as a truck driver that works for the post office, not the contractors, we are only allowed to go a certain amount of miles away from the plant. Besides that, they hire contractors. The contractors are there to do exactly what we do, drop the mail off and pick it up. But if they eliminate them from having to do end of the day pickup, they chopped off a big chunk of what they've been paying the contractors. That's number one. So the potential changes for craft workers, route adjustments. It's going to lead to changes in delivery routes for rural carrier associates and city carriers. The result could be longer and shorter routes, affecting the amount of time spent on deliveries. Vehicle changes. I've been talking about this. Like I said before, this is all a puzzle. We're putting it together. Vehicle changes. Some craft workers, such as rural carriers, may see changes in the type of vehicle and the drive. It could impact fuel efficiency, comfort, and handling. Work schedule adjustments. Depending on how the RTO affects mail volume and processing times, there are going to be adjustments to work schedule for clerks, mail handlers, truck drivers, and it could include the changes in start and end times, and possibly some layoffs. But I think the layoffs will be to the contract truck drivers. That's my opinion. Increased workload. In some cases, it could lead to increased workload for certain craft workers. For example, clerks might have to handle more mail volume if processing times are reduced, which is also why they have these new machines that are going to stations, the parcel sorting thing that are going to a lot of stations. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Now, we can all express our frustration with this, but it is what is happening. For those that don't know, I've been talking about this for the last couple years, and slowly but surely the plans are coming together according to the Delivering for America. And they've been trying to shave back money that they spent out to everybody, from overtime to extra workers to contractors, etc. All of these little pieces of the puzzle, a lot of people don't see. I'm in transportation, so I see it from the carrier's perspective. I see it from the supervisor's perspective. I see it from a transportation perspective, from everyone's perspective, and kind of knowing how this circle and clock works. I don't think it's a bad thing, in my opinion. It is going to be very uncomfortable, because look at what's happening up there in Atlanta, Georgia, where people are getting bounced from one place to another place. The management is all over the place. They're taking postmasters from stations and putting them at plants. And it's one thing to be able to be a postmaster of stations, but when you get to a plant, it's a whole different environment. You know, the people are different, the actions are different, everything goes on there is different. Everybody's getting shifted around. So there's nobody that's getting comfortable. There's going to be a lot of cross training. I spoke about that not too long ago. Clerks will have to learn a couple different jobs. Mail handlers going to have to learn a couple different jobs, or handling different types of equipment. Truck drivers, you see what they did. They got the extra PVO position, postal vehicle operators position. They got the MVO, they got the TTO, and they got the PVO. Everything is slowly starting to play out. Now we also have the carriers. They were talking about, well, when are these NGDVs are going to be distributed? There's a bunch of them sitting up in Atlanta, from what I was told. A lot of places, they have to figure out how to do the infrastructure. It's not just, let's just sit a charging station there. Everything takes time. They are ordering more, They are getting shipped around the country. Some people see them, some people don't. So when somebody says, "Oh, I ain't over here yet," the key word is yet. And to clarify, for those that don't follow the other videos where I say it specifically, 4 different type of NGDVs. There's all-wheel drive. So yes, it is good in the snow. There's all-wheel drive, what are those? That's gas and electric together, the hybrids. That's what they are. All-wheel drive hybrids, which is gas and electric. There are 2-wheel drive hybrids. Then there's the NGDVs, which are all electric, all-wheel drive. And then there's 2-wheel drive NGDVs, which is all electric. 4 different models, okay? For those that say, it's not gonna work up there. They planned all of this. They got people that are smart. They put them into place. Now, those are not the people that manage us, but those are the people that are smart. So they think about those routes. Do I think it's going to be a headache for everybody? 100%. Just people adapting to change is very difficult. And I say, if you're in it for the long haul, go with the flow. Go with the flow. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating. But if it don't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. That's my opinion behind it. Mail handlers and clerks and truck drivers understand that everything that they're doing, and when you see it pop up and you go into outrage, just understand that the USPS has negotiated the changes with the labor unions, NALC, and the mail handlers union, and the APWU. So there are people behind the scenes that have negotiated this or are in the process of negotiating these things. This is why I tell everybody, please be involved so you have an ear to the ground, basically learning about the new things that are happening in your area. Just one small change, just not picking up mail at the end of the evening creates a huge domino effect. So if they're accustomed to having, I'm just using a wide example, just a base example, 100 pieces of mail for the last 10 years coming, 100 pieces of mail, then all of a sudden they're only getting 50 pieces of mail coming in the evening. Do you think they're going to need as many mail handlers working in the evening shift just to cover half the amount of mail that's coming back? No. Think about that. The quantity is going to be less that they're bringing in the evening mail. So that's going to be the domino effect. Understand this is happening. The clerks that got to deal with the stuff at night. Everything is going to shift. Everything. So going through the change, once we out on the other side, I think we're still going to complain because that's kind of what we do. I just implore everybody, if you want to do the longevity thing, stick with it, keep your ear to the ground, get involved. This is JH, just sharing some information off of that other topic that everybody else is on. And yeah, I'd get my kidney back. I would. I'd take a right, I'd force the judge, yeah, go get my kidney back. What do you mean she's gonna die? Tell her next man to go give her a kidney. What y'all think about that? Yeah. And somebody gonna be in the comment, that's mean, man. That guy's an asshole. This is my humor, okay? If you don't like it, watch the other guys that are so funny. This is Jay, okay? That's who I am. Is he?
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.